There's a lot you can learn about arranging guitar parts from the early 2000s emo scene, and one record in particular, Jimmy Eat World's Bleed American, is full of clever guitar work that never feels cluttered or overcomplicated. Instead, the parts are strategically layered, designed to complement each other and serve the song. With that in mind, let's look at two standout moments that show how really simple ideas can be layered and arranged to create something far more complex. The bridge section of Get It Faster is a perfect example of a few arranging techniques every writer would benefit from learning, along with a few little production tricks going on as well. It's built around a call and response between the rhythm and lead guitars. The rhythm part opens with tightly stroked power chords, which then get answered by simple single note leads. Though there's a lot more going on here than you might notice at first. For one, the lead parts are actually being harmonized, creating this double stop sound, but spread out on two guitars instead of one. If you listen closely to the left and right guitars, they're playing different but complementary notes, an A sharp and a D for the most part. This creates a thicker, more distinctive sound than if they were simply doubling the same line in unison. There are also a few clever production touches here. If you listen to the ending of the first half of the bridge, let's call this part A, just before the drums and bass re-enter, and then the following B section, see if you can spot what changes. Did you catch it? When the rest of the band comes back in, the lead guitars are panned out further to the sides of the mix than they were previously. Along with this change in width, the notes themselves also change slightly. Whereas in part A, the A sharp played lower than the D, this is then inverted and played an octave higher in part B. It's a subtle change, but it introduces two new ideas at once, a widened stereo field and a new sonic colour. That, combined with the return of the drums and bass, gives us this heavy, expansive riff. So before that point, we've got a slightly narrower, more lo-fi section, and then in the B section of the bridge, everything opens up into this big breakdown. One final thing worth noting, the guitars are cut really tight. This could have been done in the post-production to emphasize the almost staccato-like quality of the rhythm. If you go back over your own recordings and clean up any excess noise between chords, during rests, and so on, you can achieve this ultra-tight feel that may benefit a particular riff you've created. While Get It Faster uses short, staccato-like harmonies, the seventh track, If You Don't, Don't, shows a different approach with layered octave parts and some creative guitar tracking. At first listen, the bridge sounds like a single, clean octave lead playing up the centre, nothing too flashy. But if you listen more closely, you'll hear that it's actually made up of two distinct parts. The main line sits in the centre of the mix, while the second, slightly lower octave part is tucked in and panned a little off to the left. Each part on its own is very simple, but when you stack them together, they lock in perfectly and form a line that's much more memorable than either one would be on its own. Rather than writing one complex melody, they wrote two very simple, complementary ones. Let's break this down piece by piece. First, here's a central melody, the one your ear probably notices first. Now, here's the second part, the one that sits underneath. And here they are played together in isolation. Once you add the bass, drums and rhythm guitars back in, the whole section really comes to life due to this added layer of harmonic content for the octaves to play over. Emo as a genre is full of these clever arrangements, and one of the most useful techniques I've found for structuring guitar parts is something that I call the Emo triangle. It's a go-to method taken from bands like Jimmy Eat World and Los Campesinos that can make your own recordings sound wider and more complex. If you'd like to learn how it works, then watch this video next.